Good day. Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Sunday, August 7, 2022. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. on Saturday expressed hope that the Philippines' relationship with the United States would continue to evolve in the face of all challenges that have been happening worldwide. Marcos issued a statement during a courtesy call by Secretary of State Antony Blinken to the President in Malacanang, where they discussed the 70-year-old Mutual Defense Treaty or MDT amid the shared challenges. The MDT, signed between the two nations in 1951, calls for both to come to each other's defense in case of an armed attack. The Philippines is caught between the rising conflict between the US and China after Speaker Nancy Pelosi of the US House of Representatives reportedly used the country's international airport to transit to Taiwan earlier this week. Marcos, however, said that Pelosi's visit to Asia, which included Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan, did not raise the intensity of the conflict but proved how it had always been present in the region. On Friday, China announced sanctions against Pelosi for allegedly interfering in China's internal affairs and seriously undermining China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. This developed after Pelosi claimed that the US will not allow China to isolate Taiwan. Pelosi's visit to Taipei, which China sees as its territory, has also prompted Beijing to launch its biggest military exercise at least 20 kilometers off Taiwanese coast. Recalling his talk with US Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Laws Carlson, Marcos said that the Philippines and US can no longer isolate one part of our relationship from the other. National Security Advisor Clarita Carlos said on Saturday that President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will recognize the One China policy, which refers to Taiwan not as a sovereign state but merely a province of China. Carlos issued her statement in the wake of the recent Taiwan visit by US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who vowed unwavering American commitment to the self-ruled island. Pelosi's Taiwan visit, the highest level visit by an American official in 25 years, elicited furious reactions from China, with Beijing calling the act a threat to peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. The Department of Agriculture or DA will set this week the suggested retail price or SRP for sugar, as the retail price of the product hit 115 to 120 pesos a kilo, according to an official of the agency. Setting an SRP will help keep prices fair among different selling channels or store locations. Agriculture Undersecretary Christine Evangelista said that a benchmark price for sugar will be enforced immediately after the scheduled stakeholders consultation on Wednesday, August 10, 2022 to control its price in the local market. Early this week, the retail price of refined sugar was pegged at 100 pesos per kilo. Evangelista added that the DA is considering a 90 pesos SRP for sugar. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have agreed to further strengthen the ties between the Philippines and India. The commitment was made during the two leaders' phone call on Friday, part of what Marcos described as a productive day with his fourth cabinet meeting. Modi, for his part, said he was pleased to speak with Marcos and conveyed his best wishes to him for a successful tenure as the President of the Republic of the Philippines. The administration of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. was drafting measures to assist Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries or ARB, Malacanang said on Friday. Marcos, in his first State of the Nation address, committed to continue implementing agricultural reform programs during his term, among them a one-year freeze on the land amortization and interest payment by ARBs. The president also urged Congress to pass a law that would free the ARBs from their debts. Over the business, Central Bank Governor Felipe Medalla is confident that the ongoing economic crisis in Sri Lanka will not happen in the Philippines. Telling members of University of the Philippines School of Economics Alumni Association in a forum on Thursday night, Medalla said the Sri Lankan government made blunders such as relying only on organic farming by banning fertilizers, cutting the value-added tax from 15% to 8%, and abolishing 7 other taxes. The South Asian nation has experienced unprecedented levels of inflation, a near depletion of its foreign exchange reserves, shortages of medical supplies, and an increase in the cost of basic commodities as a result of these mistakes, as well as the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on its tourism industry and other factors. In sports, the Philippines had its all-time best outing in the ASEAN Para Games being held in Indonesia with 28 gold, 28 silver, and 44 bronze medals, eclipsing the 2020-29 tally in placing 5th overall in the 2017 Malaysian edition. The performance also exceeded the previous best of the country of 24-24-26 in the 2009 meet also held in the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur. Marlon Ronquillo is today's front-page columnist as he gives his words on the legacy of the late former President Fidel Ramos. Today's editorial calls on the government to exit the gaming business. Read a full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram and keep up with the Times. For the Manila Times, this is Paulo Dimabi.
Our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer. Order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.